السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معكم خالد أبو صلاح، وجايك اليوم مقطع جديد أو ردة فعل جديدة يا إخوان. شو ماتش نوبو ضد آتو. المفروض يكون روص ضد آتو، لكن آتو فاز على الروص فل سويب. فكريسبر دق على نوبو وقال له تعال وخذ حق روص. طبعا يا إخوان آتو فاز على الروص لأن روص عنده لاج. ما بطول عليكم، لا تنسوا اللايك والاشتراك وخليكم مع المقطع. بسم الله يا إخوان، الجيم الأول شو ماتش نوبو ضد آتو.
You know, one show match ago, a couple weeks ago, before we had Atow and Rawas. But Atow looking solid, coming up against Rawas, was able to take it in a 3-0 sweep. Hopefully you check that out before you check out this one. All big fans, you all like, subscribe, and watch every video, so I'm not too worried that you did check out that one. But now we're going to see how Atow may fare against Mr. NWPO. Will he be able to stop Atow? We struggle the most with deciding whether or not we're going to put in S tier. I recommend going to check out our 1 tier list before this 2025 year. But we were bouncing back and forth, considering NWPO has basically only lost, I think, Moxie once and Nas once, but has essentially won all of his show matches against the top players in many months. But has elected to not play in tournaments. I don't know if he's going to play in RLCS 1v1s when they happen in the next split. Hopefully, we will see him do that, but you never know. Although I think if 1v1 RLCS can do it, then we'll just
ريان هذا شو ماتش نوبو ضد آتو. قلت بث لكم يعني إذا تبون بث إخوان.
As NWPO going to pop up into an aerial shot to get his first goal. Atow was thinking about a ceiling challenge and rotated back down.
عطا واحدة بس، عطا يا اخوان. طبعا روص اقصد آتو قبله ترى فاز على روص فل سويب 3 ايام ورا بعض، وكريستوفر كلم نوبو انه يجي، ونوبو جاء الان والله يعينه الله يعينه. He actually overshot it. واللي مو مسوي لايك يا اخوان مسوي لايك.
He really wants his demo. Atow is one of the more physical 1v1 players and he gets it. And then a quick power shot to the top right to convert even before the respawn.
دمو والله اسطوري منه والله.
Shameful self-promotion. I am shameful for self-promoting the video that just happened earlier in the stream. For those of you who are here right now. And just the video that got uploaded right before this one. If you are watching on YouTube, Atow seemed to be ahead in the race for the midfield 100, but didn't grab it before possession, so now going to be forced into defense as NWPO will give him a taste of his own medicine. Grab
يا شيخ رد عليه يا عمري يا شيخ. حلوة منك يا نوبو، حلوة. توني بنام الا جاني اشعار ويلكم سعود ويلكم. والله قلت لازم يعني تعرف لازم افك بث دام في شو ماتش وطلبتوني ابث يوتيوب. بعد صح ان الوقت متاخر يعني بس
a ton of space to work with before it got taken away, and this is not a new thing when it comes to playing against NWPO. Atow felt like
قبلها روص يا اخوان، قبلها روص صار فلوس. آتو فاز على روص فل سويب حرفيا.
NWPO will surprise you. He will dive at that ball.
الآن نوبو يردها.
It seems like you absolutely should not.
بإذن الله.
And he will make it work more times.
السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام. ارحب مؤمن.
This time though NWPO will shadow.
welcome. هلا.
Beat him with a flick.
اخوان اللي مو مسوي لايك سوي لايك. هيا ننطلق. لسه هذا اول جيم يا اخوان، شو ماتش، مباراة يعني ممتعة ان شاء الله بالونز.
What a double.
What a save.
To even stand a chance at scoring here. Atow though makes the perfect save.
يلا ماله
too distracted.
4-4. عليكم السلام. ما ادري ارحب.
Getting back in front of that play. Didn't necessarily need to fully rotate back, but I think if he even off the line a lot earlier. NWPO throws a testing shot on target, and Atow passes the test, makes the save, gets the 100, and
لا لانهم لعبوا روص ضد اتو يا اخوان. طيب روص انهزم قدام اتو في السويب، فنوبو الان باذن الله انه ياخذ حق روص باذن الله، رغم انه روص يا اخوان كان يلعب وملقلق، حرفيا ملقلق يا اخوان.
Turn your dog volume down if only I could. Atow, did he just snipe a long shot? Oh my goodness, Atow!
يا ساتر يا الحظ.
He just sniped a ground long shot from basically his back wall across the length of the field, and NWPO is not exactly a slow player either. It's perfectly placed off the post and rolling off the curve as it crosses the goal line, top shelf as well, after ramping up off the bottom of the net. Just unbelievable placement from Atow.
نوبو يقدر عليه باذن الله باذن الله.
Doesn't head to the kickoff to get first possession with under 2 minutes left to go. He's going to try and dive in. Seems like a bit of a risk with NWPO. And did NWPO miss? Oh no. Oh no. Not very like NWPO to miss with a free opportunity like that. Sure, it's a shot from far out, but that's one he's putting in, I would think, every time. I can't say every time anymore. We've seen at least one example where he misses.
حلوة.
Able to win at 50 and get that opportunity right back either way. What is NWPO's win streak at? That's a good question. I want to say his last loss was to Moxie. Before that, it was the grand final Salt Mine loss for Salt Mine 3 to Nas. And then he lost one more show match to Moxie. But other than that, it's been is it between the last loss and now? I'm trying to pull up all our duels. I talked to the RL Duels, or messaged in the RL Duels Discord saying, when are the Salt Mine going to get added to
يا عمري يا شيخ. يلا let's go.
It looks like it has been added because I'm looking at the top 5 now. It reflects Salt Mine results. So
والله 7-6
WRL Duels.
وباقي دقيقة تتكلمون عن ممتع 1
Diaz number 3.
أهداف ما في قوة أهداف يعني.
So even despite Nas's great run and Diaz's great run over in NA, still NWPO sitting atop the ELO leaderboard on rlduels.gg. But I think even just a loss here against Atow would be enough to take him down. Really lose though is the question. NWPO.
يا ساتر يا نوبو.
Atow drops in the nice one. We can go watch.
يا ساتر يا ساتر.
POV as he picks up pads. It looks like NWPO.
يا ساتر يا اخوان يا نوبو يا
Play on
مجنون.
that ball. Just a little bit of boost and we get a reset instead. Turning to land and tap that ball out ahead of Atow. It's a tie game. Atow able to undercut NWPO slightly, but not grab the 100. So NWPO playing with a full tank. A couple different 50s. Results in NWPO heading back to his own half. Surprisingly, Atow just launching a power shot. Maybe just trying to starve NWPO out and score on the follow-up. And it seems like it's got him in a pretty decent position. NWPO low on boost. That first touch wasn't it. Atow knows, so he's going to back off. 20 seconds left to go. Atow to the ceiling. NWPO, no chance to get a 100 boost. A shot perfectly placed, it seemed, but it's actually crossbar down and out instead of in. He still has NWPO on 0 boost, but even with just a pad or two, NWPO able to make a big clear, putting the ball back in the blue half. Atow probably just handing the ball away. He's going to stick close to make sure NWPO can't really get a possession going here at 0 seconds, and instead, hopefully the ball hits the ground.
Oh,
and they will head to overtime in game number 1. Delay kickoff, delay wave dash from Atow. Seems to be his key go-to kickoff attack. As he will now switch the field after picking up his both back corner boosts. Making a potential musty, but NWPO reads it, demos, and should have a wide open net. NWPO is going to take game number 1.
Let's go. كذا يا حبيبي البس كذا وفجر وجيب هدف الآن. Let's go يا شيخ. الجيم الأول هو صالح نوبو. بسم الله يا اخوان. الجيم الثاني من بيست اوف 5 نوبو ضد اتو. وات سيف وات سيف يا نوبو يا مجنون ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
Needed to follow it up quickly. because it was still headed all the way
يا عمري الدمو ايه كل الناس تفجر يا
Make that
حبيبي
play, takes it
كل
the other
الناس
way.
تفجر يا حبيبي يا
Gets the first
عمري
goal. It
يا
gotta be frustrating from what was
صح
a really solid
ذي
setup from
كملة
Atow. He comes away with
وش
nothing.
يا سي ال
In the demo game, it's actually been favoring NWPO now. I think Atow was maybe the first to get a demo goal to open up the series. But NWPO fighting back.
Okay.
And has the physical advantage right now. Atow has to be able to convert here. This is going to be big trouble if he didn't. If you see somebody, you know, flopping on the crossbar like that, falling down to the ground, you have the ball, you know, just outside the box with possession and anything you could ever want to do. If you can't get past the defender, then it's going to be really hard to ever make it past. And I think it ends up doing a number on your mental. It makes you feel like there is no option that can never score. But this is all speculative because at the end of the day, Atow did.
لا الجيم كاملة تو بادي تو الراوند الأول فاز فيه نوبو والحين هذا الراوند الثاني.
I'm sure you
ومرة
will
دقيقة
greatly
بس.
appreciate that. Pogo shot from Atow.
أوه يا ساتر.
And this is a bit of a mix-up. It's just barely a pogo, but it still is. You'll see the diagonal is fairly horizontal, but at the end of the day, what matters is it surprises NWPO. I should have watched it again from his POV, but I wanted to show from Atow's POV to make sure people got a second chance to look at that pogo. He's always been a pioneer with the pogos, and there's great opportunities to use them. They don't have to be as drastically, you know, overcommitting as Dark's original pogo behind the ball, or even, you know, a full diagonal type pogo.
القهر الله 50 قوي والله.
NWPO pre-jumping, transitioning to the back wall, and got a pretty decent save
اللي
on
مو
the
مسوي
ball,
لايك سوي لايك.
but not enough to stop the
لايك يا
momentum.
اخوان والاشتراكات الله
Able to
يسعدكم.
slow roll it in. Atow pinching this one away. You're going to pre-jump NWPO, and NWPO saw that coming, pulled off the dribble, went for the low 50, and succeeded. Voidland, thank you for the gifted sub over to Atow, who has now gifted a sub to Atow, NWPO, Jonathan Boy.
Yeah, let's go, let's go.
I don't want to mention one of them. RW10 instead of RW9. He is really on a roll here with the gifted subs today. Atow chipping this ball up again. We see NWPO doing this pre-jump to the back wall.
عيدها يعني القم بس القم يا عمري يا شيخ نوبو واحد والله واحد.
High. You see the nice one from Atow. We're not gonna be able to see
وحشي والله واحد.
But I think you see Atow react.
هلا والله ترف. اهلا وسهلا.
Kind of just handing the ball over
اهلا وسهلا.
to NWPO, who's recovering on the back wall.
Look. يلا معلم. عمري كمله.
NWPO trying to pretend like he's maybe headed up to that ball to threaten Atow away from it, but Atow does well to stick around. Do his best to make a play. What a save. Putting a ton of pace on that ball, almost too much. As he can't catch back up to it. He will get a demo. This ball now directly in front of his nets. He will take it to the corner. He had already pre-jumped. He pre-jumped and then he had given back up on the pre-jump.
يا عمري يا نوبو يا عمري يا شيخ.
Peak NWPO.
يضغط كذا يضغط
Atow turns his camera back on. NWPO's already hitting the ground again from some random other pre-jump.
الله يستاهل الناس اللي بشايل عيونه.
He lands back down, and the next thing you know, he's taking the ball away, and somehow it worked. Why would you jump so early that you're floating down to the ground miles away from the play? Well, apparently NWPO can see things we can't. And now he's up 4-3 as he has to use some power slide to keep his momentum here on the side wall. Atow trying to gain control. Loves his dashes in the corner here. Soft touch on the reset to be able to stick around the ball. But not enough to make a finish. He just matrix dodged the midfield 100, and I can't imagine a reason why you'd want to do that intentionally. Atow wants to boom the power shot, and he does. Wow. This is always one of the more impressive parts of these pros games to me. Just peak 112 km/h boomer, the length of the field, like it's no big deal. And not only that, NWPO recovering fast enough that you had to do that. It had to be peak power off one touch. So easy to take for granted. These guys are so consistent with it.
Okay. فقط ممكن يقدر شيء.
Oh, missed dash. NWPO actually makes up for
نوبو يا شيخ.
By using his speed to bump Atow. Still not what he originally intended. I'm not even sure NWPO ever knows what he originally intended. I feel like he's just a passenger in his car's mechanics, and he just figures it out along the way. Does it matter what he originally meant to do or not, considering how often it works out in his favor?
Okay.
Atow, reset shot, noticing NWPO defending on the back line. I do not think he meant to chip that ball away from him like he did. Usually when players trying to punish defenders like that, they let the ball bounce and slow play, force that defender to creep out of position and not be able to make a save with momentum. Instead, it seems like Atow maybe accidentally tapped over NWPO, but it works out all the same because
اللي مو مشترك يا اخوان يشترك، واللي مو مسوي لايك سوي لايك يعني عشان ننتشر البث. اللايكات يعني جدا مهمة وتفيدنا بشكل مرة كبير والله.
Atow dashing off the curb. NWPO trying to go for a fairly greedy double. It seems like he gave up on it when he recognized Atow was going to be able to take it away. Another boost steal. NWPO 50, the ball rising high up, going for a backboard double, top right. Great placement.
حلو والله ما شاء الله. ذا جديد ولا
is doing his best.
الآن يلعبون الآن يا.
Really hard to get follow-up shots.
ما
He gets this ball to float high enough in the air that you'd think it would buy him some time, but
الآن يلعبون يا
how
مهدي.
consistent NWPO is. Voidland gifting a sub over to Nars, and I actually don't even get that one, considering all the other ones were pretty obvious jokes. Atow up 6-5. I feel like NWPO did this in the last time they played. Every game felt like one Atow could take, and yet NWPO always found a way to finish the 5 minutes in the lead, and an air dribble bump. He's gonna go for a second bump, and it might have mattered. I'm not sure if he would have made it back if he didn't get this second bump. Well, I'm not sure if it would have been a goal if he didn't go for a ball like that. That would have been a really tough save, but I think Atow would have gotten it. I think he could have slammed it at least into the ground and popped it back up. The double bump.
الله nice.
That was 7 seconds left to go. He might not even need overtime. NWPO puts this one on target, but it's going to land short of the net. OT in game number 2. Atow going to half flip off the diagonal kickoff, and now he's got 100 boost, and it worked out great. Kickoff strategy.
الله قهر مو حق التعادل والله. جديد يا اخوان الجيم الثاني يروح لصالح اتو. بسم الله يا اخوان الجيم الثالث من بيست اوف 5. نوبو ضد اتو. ايش ممكن يسوي نوبو؟ هذا سنعرفه بعد قليل.
During the matches, NWPO in his last 8 show matches, 7-1, 1 series loss to Moxie. I think during that 7-1, he has at least 1 win against Atow, but it might be 2. Yeah, it's actually 2. 2 best of 5 wins against Atow. Atow got 1 game the first time around. He got 2 games the second time around, which was actually just a couple weeks ago. Can he get 3? Can he get a full win? That's what he's trying to do here today. But it's yet to be seen as they're tied 1-1. NWPO gonna score first.
الحين هو بيندري. هذا اللي يهمنا.
15 seconds.
يا سعود. اوكي. باذن الله اني بكره بنزل المقطع باذن الله. المباراة هذه بتنزل الساعة 1 يا اخوان. اللي وده ينام يعني ولا بيشوفها بعدين باذن الله اشترك سوي لايك. باذن الله الساعة 1 هو نازل القناة باذن الله على حد.
Free-flipping, able to grab the 100 and keep Atow from getting anything going. Interesting decision to full reset this to his back wall. It's not unusual for some players. Diaz loves to do it. As we all know, he feels like he can score every time from the back wall. but NWPO not doing what he does.
حلوة من نوبو والله قاعد انا ساكت بشوف ايش بيسوي والله مركز معاه مستغرب ايش قاعد يسوي يا اخي الله يوحش ما شاء الله عليه ما شاء الله.
He's been a little bit panicky in net. We saw it against Rawas as well. After making the first save, feeling the need to try and quickly recover to cover what he thinks is going to be a follow-up save that's necessary, but instead players have just been backing off, and those little jumps put him out of position for follow-ups. 3-0 for NWPO as he gets a demo. Can he convert on it? Heavy first touch. NWPO, the opposite corner. Reset shot is perfectly placed. Crossbar and down. And the crazy thing is if he puts this on target, he might not score it. He needs to double it to make sure it goes over the top of what is a very strong defender in NWPO. He does just that for his first goal. 3-1. Voidland and gifted sub over to allegedly Jack. Why are these all accounts that exist? I mean, allegedly Jack has just got to be a fan of apparently Jack, right? So there's actually a chance that person shows up in the chat as opposed to a few out of the gifteds that you sent out.
ما عليه بس
NWPO
لعباتك اسف
seems to take a little bit of the power off his as soon as he recognizes the Atow pre-jump, and then he gets Atow to go back down to the ground, uses the flip. Seemed like he had placed it as perfect as could be, but he was wrong. And then he was slightly off, allowed Atow to get a save before the ball finished bouncing in. NWPO will attack again, this time from around ceiling heights, and it's so hard to attack from ceiling straight down. There's not a lot you can do to change the trajectory. Oftentimes, you just gotta give it a little bit of extra pace, but on the same line it was already on, and I would say that's what happened here. So not a ton of adjustment needs to happen from Atow's POV. And not only that, but when you're shooting the ball down, the recovery for the defender is going to be so much faster than you as you wait the painful seconds falling to the ground to try and be able to recover. Atow, super well played shots.
الله حلوة منه والله بس ما عليه نوبو فدا
NWPO
والله اتو محظوظ شوي والله في حظ مو شوي الا حظوظ بعد ما عليه بس والله حلوة الشوط الصدق يا اخوان.
So instead just kind of switches his position instead of a left shoulder shadow, a little right shoulder shadow, and
ما عليه في وقت باذن الله انه يمديه باذن
الله.
طبعا يا عيال عشان اعلمكم ايش اللي ممكن يخلي الشومات هذا اسطوري او انه جدا ابغاه يفوز. والله بعيد انه نوبو ولا انه سعودي لا اتو قبلها لعب ضد روس وفاز على روس فل سويب 3 ايام بدون اي خساره والسبب كان النت. فقام كريسبر اتصل على نوبو. تخيل نوبو كان بلعبه ثانيه فقال له تعال بالله نبغاك تفوز على اتو. ان شاء الله انه باذن الله انه يبيض وجهنا باذن الله.
Cover high, convince Atow to go low and still make it to the back water recover and make the save. Atow's going to make another save over on his end. Able to break out of his own half this time with no recovery possible to make it back for NWPO. And it's 4-3 Atow. NWPO going to get a kickoff goal to immediately tie it up. There hasn't been too many of these direct or early kickoff goals, I would say. This one's got to be pretty painful for Atow after I felt like the last goal was so hard earned.
والله فزعة. اي والله فالان ان شاء الله انه باذن الله يبيض وجهنا والله.
Atow booming ground shot, ball perfectly rolling and sniped bottom left.
يا الزاوية. أعوذ بالله يا زاوية الشيطان هذه. أعوذ بالله منها.
Hoping for a complete roll right into the hands of Atow.
الله حاولوا.
Certainly there's a million different ways the ball can bounce after sending it basically ceiling height with a booming touch. Plays pretty favorably to Atow. He has a 5-4 lead. NWPO not going to be able to grab that demo. Atow off the ceiling, flipping behind the ball. I'm not sure he was threatening much there. but NWPO can't get around it to score, and an awkward recovery. He's going to allow a freebie for Atow. He needed to recognize much earlier that there was nothing to make out of this play. Trying to go all in, certainly not worth it with way more than enough time to make something happen. Even if he just accepted that instead of a goal, you know, he could start a possession. It was not panic mode yet necessarily for NWPO, and now it probably is. 30 seconds left to go. Down two. Gonna need to go quickly as he dodges Atow's physical pressure. Has a reset now and behind Atow.
يا عمري يا رجال.
On this high arc.
شوف
Headed to the
يا
left
حبيبي
side
شوف.
of the nets.
ايه غصبا عنك تكسب نايس 1.
And just
حبيبي الخم
so far back behind Atow. You cannot position there.
يا ما شاء الله يا ما شاء الله يا ما شاء الله.
Because NWPO will just easily tap it in
خمسة باقي
on the
25
opposite
ثانية.
side.
ما في رجعة من نوبو ولا
You
لا.
have to start to cover the net like Atow
نوبو
did.
يمديك اثق كل ثقة بالله.
NWPO makes him
من
pay.
فيك يا لاعب المفضل. حلوة.
That being said, NWPO needs another goal. 15 seconds. Atow trying to be a pest all over the ball. Oftentimes trying to play a speed game against NWPO can be a big mistake, but Atow's been able to hold on to the ball. 0 seconds, puts another one on target, and it's even going to go in. NWPO tried to save it, but couldn't. It'll hit the crossbar before bouncing in. 7-5, Atow, 2 in a row to make it 2-0. Oh, sorry, 2-1. Atow has earned the respect to just 360 a fake here. NWPO has shown his preference to expect
اثق في نوبو انه يقدر يفوز باذن الله. اتو لعيب والله هو لعيب يعني بس ان شاء الله انه نوبو قده باذن الله. نوبو حط اوكتين.
Atow
عمري يا شيخ.
awkward landing off the back wall. Made his way to get the first save, but it's always going to have a tough time getting a follow-up.
باذن الله يسويها.
Pass the ball instead of through it. Atow able to escape the NWPO pressure on the corner.
What a save!
Had the read on where the double was going.
What a
Was
save!
able to make the save really before the shot was ever even made. Knew where he had to be. And now Atow pre-jump steals the ball away clean. Recovery from NWPO is not an own goal, but he needed to get a follow-up touch. I'm not sure why he thought he could just lead the play. It was a decent recovery and a pre-flip to put the ball on the back wall. I think he must have been just expecting a different bounce. The bounce he got was one that results in an easy goal for Mr. Atow. NWPO goal line 50. Atow takes this one to the ceiling, but really had no follow-up.
ما عليه لازم نشد نوبو. بدأ
4-1 for Atow. On the verge of getting a rare win over NWPO. He's been a tough guy to beat in the ones game. And he is going to go
يا ساتر يا عمري
going
يا
low
الفيك.
50. I see this goal explosion that he's using. I feel like him and
يلا اللي بعده ما شاء
are the
الله.
two guys I noticed using it. But not a ton of other people. What is it from? The countdown one. Nice placement from NWPO.
عمري يا شيخ. والله ما يفوت.
Floating to stop this exact shot.
شو
Goes to the ceiling, back down to the ground, but then he's ready for the air roll shot. And NWPO just places it.
الله يا زاوية ما شاء الله.
Can't get to. Is this season pass? Oh, need to get more season passes, I guess. My goodness.
عمري يا شيخ.
Oh, this is a titanium white one.
يلا
It looks like.
ما شاء الله.
NWPO says, okay, you can grab the midfield. That means I'm going to get to set up whatever shot I want. 110 km/h air roll shot off of 10 boost. It's just, I mean, I mentioned it before with Atow. It might have been in the game. I think it was in the game against NWPO. Could have been against the game against Roas, but just peak power every time from these guys. Atow demoed as NWPO now. All the way into the lead. Look at the chain dashing from him in the corner. Keeping that speed as he rotates around the arena. Now up 5-4. Chat dropping the game 5 question marks, and for good reason. It seems like at this pace, this is going to be a walk in the park for NWPO. I mean, sure, he's only up 1, but he has just been destroying Atow in the past few minutes. Atow, nice recovery. Can he get back to make the next save? Looks like NWPO decides to just threaten it and let Atow panic to make his pre-flip save and just prep for the next play. But that next play didn't go as well as I think he would have liked it to. As he finds himself quickly back on the orange half. Atow bounces this one off the ground and did not get the backflip connection he wanted.
يا اخي
I don't know if it was 4-0, but it's 5 straight.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله تبارك الله. يا عمري يا شيخ يا رجال. يا عمري يا شيخ يلا. يقول ما مستحيل يرجع. مستحيل يرجع. والله العب فورت. امزح.
NWPO soft
يا
touch.
ساتر يا الهدف. يا عيال ما شاء الله تبارك الله. اذكر الله يا اخوان. صل على النبي. اللهم صل وسلم على محمد. يا ساتر الزاوية يا اخوان. والله يا حطها الزاوية.
Ends up overshooting it. And NWPO just drops it right behind him. Stizzy, thank you for the tier 1 for 5 months. Very Belgian show match today. It's true. It is indeed true.
Okay.
For anybody who might be here for the first time, do not look into the fact that chat is spamming hostage dog, hostage wants freedom. Just know that all our dogs are willingly residing in the house. Atow reset wave dash shot again. NWPO pre-jumping, returning back to the ground, but not able to stop the follow-up flick.
Yeah, let's go.
Voidland, thank you for the gifted sub over to Dog. I don't know if you're trying to give it to the dog who was just barking, but I'll let him know. He does not have a Twitch account called Dog. We are a minute away from a game 5 as Atow going for a backflip flick to lob the ball up to NWPO, who
أحس Atow بيرجع.
A save and a booming clear. Atow pinch across the field. He can hit these. And he definitely got it there fast enough that there was going to be nothing NWPO could do, but missed it just barely wide. 28 seconds left to go. Nice fake.
Yeah,
still a chance. NWPO drops him the nice one. As NWPO transitioning up to the back.
والله هذه مرة صعبة.
The high shot that never happened instead. Rolls in low. Slight delay kick out from Atow again. Look at the NWPO wall dash to grab a little bit of speed from every single moment he can. 10 seconds left to go. Atow not trying to go to game 5 against NWPO, where he struggled in the past and he might not need to. NWPO gonna tie it up, or sorry, Atow gonna tie it up 7-7 as NWPO has started to become fairly passive in net, something that we're not used to seeing him do. Normally he loves to just chase down the ball at every moment, trying to react to Atow. Is not gonna work this time on the shadow. Still not the end of the world for him though, just a tie game, and 0 seconds is definitely favoring him. Popping the ball up. Atow makes the first save. NWPO plays a bit of keep away and has 32 boosts left over. A nice fake from Atow to let the ball hit the ground.
وعليكم
Will we see the late kickoff from Atow in this crucial moment? No, but he does stick with his wave dash kickoff. NWPO puts it into the blue half. But he's going to have a tough time gaining control.
يعني ايش؟
Should be able to pick up
لو
100.
ماتش عن $1000 تقريبا اللي يفوز كل شيء
Away from the back
ماتشات.
wall from Atow. Shot top shelf. Nice
save.
save from NWPO.
يا عمري يا نوبو يا مجنون يا مجنون يا مجنون يا مجنون يا مجنون.
And it's well deserved.
ما
Atow
شاء
did
الله
such a good job to set this play up with the first touch to pull away from the
رجع يا
net
اخوان
so he could get
رجع
separation, not allow NWPO to challenge him early.
سو ماتش يعني مباراة استعراضية. بسم الله يا اخوان، الجيم
NWPO.
الخامس والجيم الاخير المصيري اللي يفوز رسميا هو الفايز في الشو ماتش. نوبو ضد آتو.
To open up the scoring in this game number 5.
يا ساتر يا نوبو يا عمري يا عمري، ما شاء الله فيك قبول، الله يوفقك اللهم امين، يجعلك للجنة انت دحوم يا حبيبي. بيتش ما في بطولات قريبة الا في يا اخوان يوم 1 نوفمبر باذن الله، بعد 6 ايام 7 ايام، بعد اسبوع او 6 ايام المباراة فالكون وتويستد باذن الله. ساتر ما عليه هدى.
I'm setting up
آتو مين؟ آتو اللي مع كارفن كورب يا البراء.
They're going to be slightly delayed by a nice game 5.
تصفياتهم يجري الاسبوع الثاني متى؟ بعد اسبوع او 6 ايام، يوم 1 نوفمبر.
No, that's not true.
1 نوفمبر يا
Tell
اخوان
them
باذن
that you
الله.
like me. They think you're being serious. NWPO not able to make a play off the back wall. Trying to get a dish, but doesn't
هذا
matter.
1v1 يا اخوان 1v1 يا عمري يا شيخ. واحد يعني البلوك ايه زد هو الوحيد اللي يشجع يا اخوان آتو. شكلك تشجع كارمن يا ايه زد.
Bro has a dinner party. I mean
استمر ولا تخلي في اليوتيوب. لا باذن الله يا اخوان، باذن الله مستمرين باذن الواحد الاحد. يا ساتر.
But I told them they all have to wait. NWPO Atow game 5. Couldn't ask for much more.
نايس زمو.
NWPO
يا عمري يا نوبو ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. 3-1 يا اخوان. فاتتني باذن الله بتنزل يا اخوان بكره الظهر باذن الله.
Get that clear. Actually doubled it off of Atow.
باذن الواحد الاحد بتنزل يا اخوان الساعه 1 الظهر باذن الله.
Before it finds its way in. Voidland, thank you for the gifted sub over to second killer.
واللي مو مسوي لايك يا اخوان يسوي لايك، واللي مو مشترك يشترك. ان شاء الله ان يجمعنا وياكم في جنات النعيم يا اخوان.
Depends how much you pay me, winky face. That's a first time chatter. I'm assuming in response to me saying, tell them you like me. The first time chatter is of course not going to get paid. Tell them they like me. That's not what we do here. We earn it. I'm not sure what his plan is here with only a couple pads to work with.
يا ساتر.
The ball not really in a great position. He does end up having to just tap it away to Atow, who now has a clean dribble the length of the field, and I think Atow kind of lost control. I'm not sure that's what he would have really wanted there late. Felt like he was just trying to adjust to what was slightly losing the dribble there late. NWPO going for the bump.
يا عمري بالهداوة يا حبيبي بالهداوة. يا عمري يا شيخ يا عمري يا شيخ والله يا واحد.
Birds are dope. Thank you for the gifted sub. Over to Chuck Sunsets.
يلا الخامس يا عمري يا عمري يا
نوبو. We're gonna make it 5-1. This was a very close series and still could be. But NWPO
هون روص قبل انهزم ضد آتو في السويب يا اخوان، وروص كان ملقلق. طيب اي هداوه فجره. اي يعني اي بالهداوه يعني هدا وبعدين فجر ما شات. يا عمري ما شاء الله يا ما شاء الله يا ما شاء الله يا ما شاء الله.
As soon as he leaves the play, next thing you know, he's doubling his shot, and Atow cannot recover in time.
هذا النهاية ولا نص النهاية؟ لا يكرون هذا شومات يا اخوان شومات. مباراة استعراضية. دبل عيد اقول لكم خلاص يا اخوان استسلم رسميا. جديد.
Thanks for playing. He's gone.
اوكي جديد. الف مبروك لا نوبو يا اخوان.